As a leadership trainer, I do lots of trainings in Azerbaijan. I do a lot of work with senior management. It's senior management in the government and senior management in businesses. But I also have a younger group of trainees who I really love, which is younger women. So I do trainings for younger women in Baku, which is the capital city, and I do a lot of trainings with younger women in the regions of Azerbaijan. So I travel to the regions as a UN expert, gender expert actually. So I do lots of trainings, and that can be leadership trainings. Sometimes I do self-awareness, self-development trainings, but we also talk about tough topics like gender-based violence, and then we talk about why this happens. Recently, I have started talking to teachers a lot about it and saying what we can do in the schools to bring up more empathetic boys, the boys who care, the boys who will protect women instead of hitting them. So that's what I do mainly in Azerbaijan. So I'm kind of a champion for women's empowerment, and I do my best. Most of these trainings are free. If this is for women, usually are free. I think the idea of empowerment is when women know they have choice and control. Because there was a topic about housewives. In my mind, it's totally fine to be a housewife if it's your choice. I think empowerment is about choice, and it's about being able to go after your dreams. Whatever is the dream, it can be anything. I tell all of my girls they don't have to be leaders. Not all of them have to be leaders. They may choose to be followers, and that's beautiful, but they have the right to choose, and they know where they want to go. So this is how I understand empowerment really. So I heard about Shakti here in India. I haven't heard about it before, but I have been promoting similar concept back home because I talk to a lot of women leaders. They may be civil servants or business leaders, and I always say one thing you can do: you can make it easier for other women who are coming. And I think mentoring, that you support younger women, you make this road much easier for them. It doesn't have to be so difficult. Just because you had a really difficult road, that doesn't mean it has to be more difficult for other women too. That there must be a women's solidarity. You support the younger women. You open the roads. You encourage them. You tell them they can do it. That's how I understand Shakti. And maybe it's a bit different from what you define here, but that's really saying it doesn't have to be so difficult for younger women who are coming. Because for me, being a woman in Azerbaijan, it's not easy. So I have, even getting permission from my parents to go study in the United States took me 4 years. 4 years to convince my dad to let me go and study in the United States. So it didn't come easy for me, but I'm hoping that I can make it easier for other young women in Azerbaijan. So we are a very funny country in some ways because we are Muslim and we are Soviet. So we used to be part of the Soviet Union. So women, it's not like they can't go. It's like very few women are covered. We have lots of independence. We have all the rights that a woman would have in a normal democracy. And we exercise those rights. But still, deep in the culture, it's ingrained that for some reason men are the decision makers and they can make decisions about the lives of the women, especially if it's a father, the head of the household, if it's a brother or a husband. They can make decisions about your life and where you live, what you do in your life. So there's still this belief, even though women are very independent, it's not the typical Muslim country you would think of. That immediately comes to your mind. It's very liberal in many ways, but still there's this deeply ingrained cultural understanding that men are the decision makers, and it's everywhere. If you look at the top positions, most of the top positions will be owned by men. If you go to the senior management meetings, you will probably be one of the few women at the table. You will see a lot of women doctors, lots of women teachers, but it's like there's women jobs and male jobs. So leaders are male. So it's men's job to rule, to manage. Women's job is more feminine, what's identified as feminine professions. And so if you want to be an engineer, that might be questioned. Why a woman wants to be an engineer? You want to be, have a career, which is you want to go up the ladder, that may be questioned. But if you want to be a teacher, you're just fine to do it. You can go to the university, become a teacher. You want to be a doctor? By all means, go become a doctor. So it's funny. There are kind of understanding where women can be and where they shouldn't be. And also, men have been ruling in our part of the world for a long time. They're not just gonna step side and say, well, you're welcome, come and sit, you know. So women have also their part to play. I think that at some point I felt like I'm being treated differently because I'm a woman. I feel it mostly in boardrooms when there's important decisions are being made. There were many times men would talk over me, even if, you know, I have the education, I have 15 years of work experience, I worked for, you know, for different development agencies. Usually I know what I'm talking about, but many times I get overtalked, and usually men will listen to men. Even if the man next to me repeats exactly what I've just said, you know, when it comes from a man, they hear it and they say, wow, what a great idea, you know. So I feel that I've been overtalked a lot, yet I'm not being listened. But, you know, I am a very kind of a powerful woman. So, you know, and I am in an age that I can stand my ground. It was much harder when I was younger. Right now, you know, I know who I am. I have a strong, you know, identity. I'm an educator. I'm a public speaker. So it's much easier for me now to speak up. But there were times, and also, you know, they will. You have the idea. You feel the ceiling. You feel the glass ceiling. That up to some point, it's wonderful to have you, but after some time, it's like men's club. You don't belong there. You know, so. And it's very subtle. In Azerbaijan, it's very subtle. They wouldn't tell you, but you can feel that they'd rather work with a man. And it's not you're uncomfortable, you feel the man around you are uncomfortable, having this independent woman come in and talk. You know, basic thing like handshake in Azerbaijan. So studying in the United States, I got very comfortable about handshake. Yes, you come in, you shake hands, right? So first of all, in Azerbaijan, women wouldn't do that much of handshaking. And second of all, they haven't seen, you know, women so independent, and there are many women who are very strong, but I'm probably one of the few. I'll come in and I'll shake the hand of the deputy minister and be like, hi, how are you doing? You know, I'm Shams, and I just sit down. And you can tell for a minute, they're totally confused. They're like, you know, what the hell is going on? You know, who is she? You know, kind of a reaction sometimes. And so even the simple thing like a handshake, a confident woman coming and saying, hi, I'm Shams Mustafaeva, how are you doing? You can tell that for a minute, they're like, what is going on? You know, this is like men's world, like, you know, kind of. But there are lots of other things that's happening. And so that, you know, with younger girls, it's usually the problem of fathers letting them go study abroad, for example. The one complaint you will always have, the father doesn't let them go study abroad. Or the brother tells them when they can come home, whatever they can do. So in Azerbaijan, it's funny because it's not open in your face. You walk on the streets, everybody seems very free and happy, but it's very much ingrained into the culture of the nation. So that's why it's so difficult to fight it. It's so difficult to change it because it's a belief. It's so hard to change a belief. Now, if it's some sort of rule, you would change the rule, yeah? But when it's deeply ingrained belief, because even women, older women, will enforce these cultural norms. So your mom will tell you, you can't go anywhere without telling your dad. So your grandma will tell you, you know, you can't wear short skirts, you can't do this, you can't do that. So it's, women are enforcing these rules that's been there. So women in the neighborhood will be enforcing the rules, saying, oh, you came late home today, you know, did you have a lot of classes? What happened? So like there's this control system, check and balance and control system that's mostly enforced by women, which is really funny. And so we have to not only change how men think about women, we have also to change how women think about women. If there was one thing we could do, we could bring up more compassionate men. If the mothers, they could bring up more compassionate boys who care about women, who respect women, who treat them like a human being. That's what I would say, really. That's one thing we can do. It's amazing to see so many women, and it's amazing to see it's inspiring to see so many women doing this work, but to be honest, at some point you also get almost like desperate that this many women are working, but still the progress is so slow. It's just like, how is it possible that this many women and men are working towards this equality, treating women like human beings, and still there's so many problems, you know, with this. So it's accelerating, and it's like, oh my God, what else are we supposed to be doing? What else we can do to change this? Probably that's what was my reaction this past 2 days. It's very spiritual, which I didn't expect. Because I'm very business minded, so I usually go to the trainings that talk about business, gives you lots of strategies, lots of ideas, this research and that research. And I totally forgot about connecting with spirituality, with the woman, inside. And so it was strange that this is a beautiful combination of strategy, but also at the same time about soul and who you are and who you want to be. So it was a good reflection time for me here. Empowerment is women being able to choose. Really, that's what is empowerment. That they can go on after their dreams, and that dream can be being a housewife, that dream can be being a politician or a president, and that they have a choice and they can go after their dreams. So empowerment is about women having a choice. And that choice can be, being a housewife, or that can be being a president of a country. That they have a dream and they can go after their dreams. That's what's empowerment really for me.